Hello students, today in this video I am going to present a critical analysis of the poem Siren Song by Margaret Atwood. Siren Song is written by Margaret Atwood, who is a Canadian poet, novelist and a critic. This poem, Siren Song, was published in her collection You Are Happy in 1974. The poem takes a different look at the ancient Greek myth of the sirens, half bird and half woman creatures who lured or attracted the passing sailors to their death with an irresistible song. If we talk about the sources of the poem refers to the Greek mythology. The reference of these sirens is found in Homer's epic poem Odyssey. Homer is a Greek poet. In Odyssey, the sirens are dealt with male perspective, while in this poem, the sirens are dealt with female perspective. In Homer's epic, they are described as the killer of male figures, while in this poem they are described as bored with their function of killing. The development of thought or the theme of the poem is in stanzas 1 and 2. The poem Siren Song begins with the description of Siren's song. It is described that the song is so powerful that no one can avoid to hear it. It is so strong that even though the men see the dead bodies and bones of those who listened to that song before them, they still try to reach the island to hear the siren song. These two stanzas suggest that the song is powerful, not the voice of the singer. The song causes men to be desperate or too eager to hear it in spite of watching the doom all around them. In stanzas 3 and 4, the narrator is revealed to be one of the three sirens. The siren here becomes a character and narrator both. She is one of the three sirens who understand that powerful song and no one other. Yet the siren presents herself as being tired of being a siren. She views her fellow sirens as feathery maniacs or birds. She is tired of being a perfect and mythical siren. She asks to the listener or the sailors to free her from her bird suit, which she now does not want to wear. In stanza 7 and 8, the siren explains that the song she is singing is actually a cry for help. She explains that she is not singing the song to attract the readers to their deaths, but because she is trying to be saved. And when the reader enters the next line, the siren begs by saying that she believes that the listener of her song is strong enough to save her. She says that he is the only one who can save her. In stanza 9, it has been described that while the siren is charming and begging for help, an unfortunate sailor is heading towards her as fast as he can. The words at last suggest that he has finally arrived, which means he has been killed in his desperate efforts to save her. The siren says that it is song. It works every time. The reader learns here that every sailor who wants to save her and everyone who hears the song becomes another victim of Siren. The major themes of the poem are the theme of lies and deception. The theme of lies and deception is the dominant theme of this poem. At first, the readers assume that the siren is indeed telling the truth, that she does not want to kill or attract anyone to death. However, at the end of the poem, it is revealed that every word sung by the siren were lies. She successfully deceives the men who heard her song and tells them that she indeed tricked them. The theme of predator and prey. The theme of the poem suggests the predator prey theme. A predator is one who kills other animals. In the poem, the predator is the siren and the prey are the sailors or the readers or the listeners of the song. The third is the theme of damsel in distress motif. Just as a witch changes herself into a beautiful damsel or girl and attracts the passerby to save her from the trouble, and in the end harms to the person who tries to save her, as we can find in the situation described in Coleridge's poem Christabel. So, in the same way, siren behaves like a damsel in distress who kills the sailor who tries to save her. The theme of lust. The poem is also about the theme of lust. As a man or a sailor approaches near to sirens to hear her plea, she reveals that her song of plea was a trick to tempt them. In this way, men become victim due to their lustful desires. The theme of human predicament. The theme of the poem suggests that our ego is like the siren. We are all victims of our own ego. We fall into the trap of believing that we are the unique ones while we become sad and pathetic prey of our ego. We become the food of ego that is siren for us, and we lose our inherent qualities. The theme of isolation. The poem is also about the theme of isolation. Siren sings that she hates her situation and does not want to kill anyone. She also explains her hatred towards her companions. The siren later claims that she will disclose the secret of this song if anyone rescues her to come out of that bored, lonely, and fixed position. Theme of helplessness. The poem describes the helplessness of men in the poem, that is, they jump into the sea once they hear the song. They are eager to meet the creatures who, on the island, perform a doom for them. In this way, the men are represented as helpless persons. Along with the theme, the poem also has some more implications that are as following. Margaret Atwood does a great job of bringing the classical myth up to date and reminds us that those myths still have a neat way of capturing our imagination and relevant. The poem allows for a completely different perspective and introduces a dramatic element that heightens the tension between the female and her male victims, between speaker and reader. The poem remains as a fresh reminder of the ongoing issues that women face in a world that has so far been dominated by the actions and words of men. The reader is being reminded that a gender stereotype builds up over generations. The poem portrays the gender inequality through sirens. The speaker has to squat. She does not like this position because it makes her feel out of place, trapped, and somewhat defined by what she has to wear that suit and the physical stance she has to maintain. In the same way, the women also feel bored with the same daily household routine work. So, this poem is, in a sense, a counterbalance to the prevailing power base of the male. In spite of the male dominance in society, the poetess presents a different version of society. The poem portrays men as stupid and helpless victims of their own lustful curiosity as the siren song draws them onto the rocks where they crash and perish, or unable to live and starve to death. The used literary devices in the poem are as following: assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. For example, the sound of E in even though they see the beast skulls. The other literary device is consonance. Consonance is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line, such as the sound of the L in the line, I will tell the secret to you. The poetess uses enjambment. It is defined as a thought or a clause that does not come to an end at a line break. Instead, it moves over the next line. For example, the song nobody knows because anyone who has heard it is dead and the others can't remember. So, the thought does not come to a break after one line. The meaning moves or proceeds on the next line or the next stanza in narration. The poetess uses imagery in the poem. Imagery is used to perceive things involving five senses. For example, in the poem, these lines present the use of imagery. The lines are: even though they see the beast skulls. The other line is: with these two feathery maniacs, and to leap overboard in squadrons. The poem emphasizes that the siren wears a bird's suit, squats, has feathers, and even sounds like a bird warbling to you, only to you. There is use of metaphor in the poem. A metaphor is a figure of speech in which an implied comparison is made between the objects that are different. The entire poem is an extended metaphor for a supernatural theme that attracted sailors to their death. The second metaphor is the deceptive physical attraction of the sirens. Allusion. Allusion is a belief and an indirect reference of a person, place, thing, or idea of historical, cultural, political, or literary significance. The poem alludes to the Greek myth of siren, half woman and half bird like creatures. Rhetorical question. Rhetorical question is a sentence which is posed to make a point clear. For example, shall I tell you the secret? And if I do, will you get me out of this bird suit? So, in this way, we see that the poetess uses the literary devices as assonance, consonance, enjambment, imagery, metaphor, allusion, and rhetorical questions. The structure of the poem is stanza. There are three lined stanzas in the poem. Free verse. This is a free verse poem with no strict rhyme or meter. Tarset. The poem has each stanza in tarset pattern, means every stanza is of 3 lines. The writing style of the poem is in this way. The first 3 stanzas help to set the scene. The speaker tells of a special song with no mention of the personal I, as if she is on the island surveying the most recent and oldest victims. The speaker generalizes the reader with everyone. When Siren asks to be freed from her bird suit, it suggests that she no longer wants to be a siren, but needs help to get away. Atwood's choice in wording here is strong. Squatting on this island, for instance, as well as feathery maniacs are word choices that evoke an unpleasant life by using words that are rife. Rife means expressing sadness or regret with negatively connotation. The lines are small again in the poem. This is a clever way of the poetess to increase the suspense of what is being read. The song follows Margaret Atwood's typical style of being fairly free versed. There is no rhyme, and each verse can be coalesced. Coalesced means comes together to a larger substance to form sentences and lines that make grammatical sense. Means she writes the lines in such a way that form a larger substance and have a grammatical sense. But still, the structure of the poem is important. It cuts each idea off part way through and brings the reader to the next line in a slow and halting way. Overall, the tone is intimate, casual, familiar, ironic, and confessional. It is as if the speaker is whispering to the reader, drawing them even closer in, just as the song does with the sailors in the ancient Greek myths. The poem is so brilliantly handled that till the end the readers do not know what was the song about. In a strange way, Atwood makes each reader of the poem a victim of her siren. By breaking up the verses to be short and quick, she forces the reader to move through the poem quickly. It is a clever way to build suspense, and starting by stating that the mystery of the siren song will be revealed does build up suspense. Like any story, the reader wants to know the ending. In this way, the reader is duped or deceived as well as with the sailors, which makes this poem an interesting poem and that is a fun to read. It is well written that captures our attention towards the mythical characters, and we begin to feel some humanity for these unreal characters of the myths. The poem is a strong testament or proof to Atwood's ability to convey powerful emotions and to write story piece in the poem that entertains and amuses the readers.